Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.
The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast. With a new year comes a new season, a new list of drivers, a new list of goals as we enter another series of Cup racing. The Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pro Cup Series takes to the defunct but now re-risen Chicagoland Speedway to start off the 2026 Season 10 campaign. Steve McClendon trying to go for the four-peat, and many drivers trying to get in his way. What'll happen? Let's find out together. Welcome everybody to PTR TV for today's coverage of the Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pro Cup Series, again at the Chicagoland Speedway. It's going to be round number 130 laps here for the C-Vue Radio 130. Gonna be myself, Corey Silva, in the booth and in the production truck. Brad Dalton, as always, out to help me with all the calls. So, Brad, you broke your hiatus on Wednesday with elbows out. I'm about a month out since I've done a broadcast, but ready and raring to get back in the production seat and in the commentary booth to have some fun here tonight, bro.
Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. It's been a while. There were holidays and a new year that came in the time that we took off, and it's very rare to see Triple Bypass take such a long hiatus season to season, but this pesky thing called Christmas and New Year's got in the way, so of course have to take the time away here. I think it's interesting. I'm just kind of watching qualifying run through, and it's a full lobby. I have a feeling there were some drivers who didn't even get to join. Taking a look here at our lobby and our drivers, and just kind of getting an idea of who is where. And Corey, I want to point out, if I remember correctly, Steve McClendon told us at the end of last season he was not running this season.
I think he wasn't running full time, but it made my opening monologue sound better to say a four-peat. But yeah, he did say he wasn't going to be able to go for the four-peat, real life getting in the way of full-time competition, but he is here as it stands today. Adam Bossy, he was big in the ARCA series. I know I raced him when I raced on the ARCA series prior to. Well, actually, we had a couple off weeks, and he was competitive. I don't recall him being in the Cup Series, Brad, but thus far he is, and thus far he is top of the board here with a 29.8 here in quali.
Yeah, great times coming through so far, and great to see all of the faces back. Of course, See You Later Boy is just different but the same. It's the good thing about Triple Bypass. I feel like you come back and it's the same, but it's different, it's fresh. There's a good energy right now, and I don't know what it is, but even just watching kind of the chatter in Discord and getting to talk to different drivers, there's a good energy coming into this 2026 season 10 here as it goes. I think this is going to be a great one all the way through, going all the way into April, so you'll be with us till the springtime.
And of course, we will be bringing you the ARCA series as well. Thanks to Culture Designs for funding that again for another season. So our Tuesdays will be booked as well. So if you like what you see, you can like, share, comment, and subscribe, and join us for more, both on the Triple Bypass streams as well as other streams as we start to wind up coverage here in 2026. And of course, today's broadcast, I said it was the C-Vue Radio 130. This race presented by Sean Bradley in the number 77. I remember the backstory. It is a non-profit radio station put on by his parents up there in Canada. You can listen to it on the local airwaves or online. And so that is, again, C-Vue Radio. But the end of qualifying has ticked over. I already did my like, share, comment, subscribe spiel. So now nothing more to do, Brad, than head right down trackside and figure out the running order today at Chicago. That was a handover.
I'm clearly a professional. I didn't unmute my mic. Adam Bossy, Daniel Williams rounding out the front row here in Chicago. And then in P3, we're going to find Keaton Crothers and Ben Harkham in the number 78 in a Chick-fil-A car. Sean Bradley, of course, tonight's race sponsor, in 5th place with Dylan Freeman in P6. 7th place here on the night, Kyle Dewey. Can he do it? And Chad Bear will bear it all from P8, trying to get a win here. P9, Jeremy Brown. And then P10, Michael Hopkins.
11th, we'll find Mark Gerald. And Al Corey going to be in the 12th spot, the boss man. Brad Kress in 13th, and then Caleb Brown in the 14th position. 15th finds Trevor McLaughlin there in the Hot Wheels car with Mr. Pseudo 3-time going to 4-time. He didn't send me an updated picture, but Steve McClendon in 16th, Keith Handlin in 17th, and then Naj going to roll off in the 18th spot at the AMSOIL on that ride here today. Marty Rogers in 19th, and then Kyle, that pitcher Gresh, rolling off P20. And then, again, we got a full grid, Brad. We got to speed through this.
Yeah, 21st, Walker McAnulty and Matt Harmon in 22nd. P23 here, Matthew Epting. And Tex Nichols, of course, the big boss man for AMSOIL there in 24th. 25th, Justin Baxter. 26th, Mike Serra. 27th place here on the night, AJ Lombardi. And Joshua Bowes will find his way in 28th. 29th is the Cat Meow and the Dog of Adam Shaw in P30.
And we have 40 cars strong. 31st finds Zach Armstrong with Jason Benson in 32nd. Tyler Raylis in 33rd with Mark Herzog in 34th. Then we have Cam Kane, Zach Durney. What's he doing all the way back there? Nicholas Deal 37th, Ward Fisher 38th, and then shotgun on the grid. We got Donald Risteau and Chris Graves racking up the caboose here today at Chicago. Again, Chicagoland, of course, in the real world. Was decrepit from COVID up until 2024, and now bringing it back here in 2026. So we'll have to have a new updated version on iRacing if we are indeed lucky. But our race details here in the C-Vue 130, 130 laps, 45 lap stage break, which is about average. 3 sets of tires, a backup car, and Brad, the incident caps tightened up here in season 10 and 16 respectfully.
I like it. I like the tightened incident cap here on the night, and I think that this is going to be one of those moments you watch and you see why Triple Bypass does what it does. This is such a great run here, a great league, and, well, I'm excited to see how this goes. Fuel run looking pretty good here at about 30 laps, so expect to see a pit stop coming up.
See what happens here as 2026 starts off Triple Bypass style. The pace car pulls into the pits. Barney getting ready to wave the green flag for the first time to start the new year. Let's go racing from Chicagoland.
Adam Bossy gets away well here up in the front going into turn 1. Everybody gets away off the start line. No kerfuffles there. Coming to the green, coming out of turn 2. Side by side, Keaton Crothers, Daniel Williams, Sean Bradley there trying to hold in as well. But Adam Bossy up front by a 10th and a half, already going into 3.
Oh, somebody in the wall there back of the shop. May have been Tex Nichols, but through 3 and 4, everybody's going to come on through. Barney's going to get the view here as all the way down to the flat, Brad. I know that's something that you love ever so much, but it is what it is. Chicagoland, a very wide, bumpy track, multi-groove. You'll see drivers using all of the real estate here. Old, aging, bumpy surface, Brad. That's what drivers love.
Yeah, this is one of those tracks that demands precision through, especially here in 3 and 4. It's a moment that can catch you off guard if you're not ready for it, but this is a track that can let drivers drive their race. This is a track that if you want to get a little comfortable and run a single line, if you want to explore a little bit, you can do so here. And right now for Keaton Crothers, I think there's going to be a bit of exploring back in the back here. Michael Hopkins battling it out with Mark Jarrell, the Uncrustable car, going through, and the Boss Man coming around here.
There's Mr. 3-time here trying to go to the outside of the 9 of Brad Kress, and there's Al Corey. Al Corey all the way up top into the fence. That top line here in 3 and 4, ultra bumpy, and he found that one out the hard way. McClendon trying to get to the right rear, maybe side draft. This is one of those tracks, Brad. While it is multi-groove, it does have a bias. Usually you kind of want to rip the top in 1 and 2, be lower in 3 and 4. So sometimes, you kind of get on the wrong end of the spectrum there, and makes it difficult to get through.
Yeah, I think, too, the thing to remember here early on is a little bit of saving can go a long way. Of course, as I alluded to, the fuel run 30 laps-ish. That is the info we got in the background, and so that will give us an idea of, 30s. Lap 30, mid-lap 30s, that's going to be where we're aiming for fuel. So if you can save a little bit, I don't think you can save enough to get through the stage at lap 45, but if you can save a little something somewhere, I think you could be feeling pretty good here on the night as one Mr. Waltrip trying to go underneath the inside of Al Corey, and Kyle Gresh find his way up into the top 15.
Yeah, I think the big decision is, well, actually, I don't even think it's going to be a decision. Again, we only have 3 sets of Goodyears, and we do expect the fall off to be something of substance here, as again Gresh getting to the inside of Al Corey there. I don't think you're going to be able to take the tires. Huge wreck off the corner here. McClendon involved. That's Chad Baer backwards down the Brant stretch, and there was somebody else of issue. And I guess that will throw a wrench in the strategy game. We do have backup cars if necessary here. Let's try to make some sense of what we saw there. Whoa, right-hand hook by Baer, and that took out McClendon and somebody else to the far inside of the raceway.
That was a hardware
hospital wobble. That was a hospital wobble, and that was Caleb Brown all the way down to the inside there, the Texas Pete Mobile.
Well, that was a spicy little slap for him. He wouldn't have been expecting that at all coming through. I was going to say that's a hardware failure if I've seen one, but no, that was indeed the little to the left, and then the car gripped back up and just sent him. And there was nothing McClendon could do.
Yeah, luckily that was only a 3-car incident. Could have been much worse. They're as tightly packed as they were at that juncture, but either way, we will have our first caution. Now, per what you said, Brad, about 30 laps or so on the fuel load as we were addendums to pre-race by Mr. 3-time. So even pitting now by that logic with a 45-lap stage, you still can't make it. So interesting to see what drivers will do, if anything.
Yeah, I think right now you're really just in... A few guys are going to take it, which I was going to say I probably wouldn't do. I'd probably just stay out, hold the track position. It looks like it's a very mixed bag decision here. About half the field in, half the field out, give or take. I never said math was my strong suit, so let's see here.
I'd say you're about right. We got 40 cars. Seems like about 20. McClendon, now he's someone... No, he'll pull out the backup car. I was just seeing there that bright green car in the middle of the shot. A lot of times McClendon will like to... do the repairs and to see what happens, but he obviously realized he didn't have a choice there, so that's the backup car out and used. And I mean, now he's got 122 clean laps, but I know he can do that.
He can definitely do it. He's just got to make sure that he doesn't become unlucky. And sometimes luck is needed just as much as skill to get through this race. Now, we didn't see it early on, but it looks like at some point Adam Bossi did get passed by Keaton Crothers. Now, Keaton Crothers is a name that I feel like we're going to say a lot this season. He can be quick. He can be consistent. We'll see how he does on a restart here, if he can hold on. And then Sean Bradley up in P3. Sean Bradley, I feel like we said his name time and time again last season. Unfortunately, wasn't in the championship running there, but he is a driver that I'd say if he can be smooth, consistent, strong here, shake the cobwebs off early, he'll be feeling pretty good here going through season 10.
And Keaton Crothers, I believe he won a race or two last season. His sticking moment to me, it has to be that Portland race where just absolutely just had the field just demolished, and then unfortunately had a mistake there. But someone, again, as you said, I expect to see competitive here in this season. And just taking a look here, because Brett, I didn't really look at the schedule much for what we're going to be doing here this season. We're going to be heading to the Rock, Homestead, and Bristol. The first 4 races of the year. We got some Daytona. We got Daytona and Atlanta back to back. We got Watkins Glen, which is kind of the easy road course, so everyone should do well there. We got 3 super speedways on the schedule, so this is a very, very dynamic schedule. Seems like the hardest part of the schedule is the beginning of it.
Yeah, looking at it, I definitely agree. I am very excited for Bristol. You know I love a short track, though. That's just me. And then a week off and then into Daytona. It's going to be a good one here as the car's going to 3. It's going to be exciting to kind of watch how the drivers handle this season as a whole and what they do. But, of course, to get to the end of the season, you got to get through all the races. And, well, we haven't even made it 10 laps into the first race.
No, we have not. Still a lot of work to do. And let's get back into gear, both literally and metaphorically right now. Crothers on the outside lane, gets the jump. Again, a very wore-out racetrack here. Got to watch out for that wheel spin. Everybody seeming to do a good job getting back on the loud pedal here. And there's our logo there on the deck lid. Got to love to see that. Suck it up to the broadcast team. That's the way to get on air, Keaton, here. But getting the good run, and everybody's shuffling their way off turn 2. 3 wide.
Going 3 wide here. Look at this. The 48, the 58, and the 45. Now that's a way to get on air as well. Go 3 wide. Put the PTR TV low. Gotta watch it there, Al. Is Justin Baxter there on the inside. And, of course, that 48 of John the Naj Crutchley on the outside. He's the one that hit the wall hard. And the 58 is holding the low line.
And Pikachu up in the wall there. That's Epting in that 18 car, kissing the wall in 1 and 2. But, you know, at the speed that he hit it at, shouldn't be too much of an issue. But here comes our race sponsor car, Mr. Sean Bradley, looking to the inside of Bossy. Now, Bossy, a couple times in the past, I've seen him be a short run car and then lose it on the back end of a run. I think maybe he's conserving and trying to save those tires for the long haul. We'll see if that's indeed the case here. But here's Dylan Freeman ripping the top of the racetrack. Averill trying to make something happen. Ben Harcum in the... Wait, it's not a Popeyes car. Chick-fil-A. He swapped chicken sandwich restaurants.
What he should go back to Popeyes, and I'm going to leave it at that because, superior chicken sandwich, of course, is Popeyes. I didn't think that had to be said, but apparently it does. So, with that being said, that's an interesting decision from him to swap. And we're back in food talk. Look at that. It's like we never left.
Yeah, nice spec map, though, so I'm going to give credit to the painter on that, or trading paints, wherever it came from. Kyle Dewey doing well right there, and went back finding some side-by-side name that is new to the series, at least from what I reckon, anyways. AJ Lombardi, NFL playoffs on right now. Good last name to have for that time in the season. Zach Armstrong, he raced the Skippy series with us a couple of weeks ago. He's looking on the outside of the track and just going on board. Brad, this is just a racer's dream. Everywhere you look, cars in every lane, make it happen, find the grip, just go where you can go.
Yeah, it's just a case of, where can you go, what can you do, bring it along, and hold on to it here. These guys haven't raced in the...
Oh, no!
He's so dare, Jordan!
Walker McAnulty, I believe that is. No, we're wrecking after the fact.
We're still wrecking.
That's Josh Bose, I believe. So a multifaceted incident here. Well, we kind of saw the first part of it live. Let's see what happened with the second part, and then we'll... Interesting. We'll have to go on board to see... May have lost it on change of direction here. Now, we'll kind of see both facets of it here on the onboard. You can see the self-spin up front.
Looks like he just locked up the wheels there trying to get it slowed down. And
well, he was going left, and then, as I like to say, the elephant on a skateboard effect. Once it finally does bite the other way, it bites all the way.
Why did we have someone backwards in turn 3 under the pace car? What?
because we just got to keep things interesting.
I was going to say these guys haven't... thought I was saying before we Air Jordaned is that we haven't had triple bypass on the air since November 23rd.
Oh, wow.
So I'm wondering who's been practicing, who's been skippy racing, who's been having some fun with, of course, the Rolex coming up and running some road course stuff, Steve McClendon. And I was going to say, I wonder if some of these guys are still trying to shake cobwebs off. But, well, this is interesting. A lot of people taking tires and fuel.
Yep, and a couple drivers choosing to stay out here. Again, racing the 45 for the stage break. So at this juncture, you would be able to make it just. May have to save a little bit just to be safe, but pitting now will get you to the end, and most of those pit stops were about 5.5 seconds, so nobody choosing to take the set of tires. They want to save that for later in the race, but top four... Derek Catt, AJ Lombardi, Tyler Wales, and Mark Herzog all have yet to visit pit lane here on the day, and most certainly they'll still need some kind of top off to make the stage, you'd imagine.
There's no way they make the stage at this point. Only person I see that took tires, Ben Harcum, which I think is an interesting decision there. Maybe he needed a chicken sandwich too while he was stopped.
But it's Sunday. Unless he has the only Chick-fil-A in the company that is still open on a Sunday, but it's rather here nor there. Are we on one to green? We certainly are. We'll get doubled up, stacked up, ready to go back green flag racing. I was talking about, drivers we haven't really talked about or known in the league. Of course, the 89 of AJ Lombardi there. And look at some front end damage on Mr. Gresh there.
What has happened to Gresh? That's a big amount of front end damage. I got to wonder how that car is going to handle. It's definitely going to be affecting it, but you got to wonder how significant at this point.
That's going to be noticeable, especially on the straightaways. That's some pretty big aerodynamic issues there, but Brad, you're more hip than I am. What does Take Me Back to Eden mean?
Oh, that's a band called Sleep Token. That is an album they have.
I had a feeling it was some kind of like altern indie, some kind of band, but shows how much I listened to that. So, anywho, let's get doubled up, stacked up, ready to go back racing. You got the Brandt car on a racetrack that has Brandt all over the backstretch, so that means he's got to win, right? It's just the sponsors just making him do that. But let's see what happens coming off the corner into the only track that has a Geico restart zone, at least until it gets updated in a few months. Green flag in the air, big wheel spin, and that's not good.
Oh, we're not done wrecking. We're not done wrecking. And we're still wrecking. I think that's that wheel spin you elaborated to last restart there, Corey.
Yeah, a track that has not a lot of grip, and on the straightaways here, you're kind of having to turn right on the straightaways, just the way that the nature of the track. You could just see, I mean, Derek Catt was the one that got loose there in the Sitco car, and he used the drivers to his outside as the fail-safe for himself to not wreck. Convenient for him, inconvenient for everybody else.
Definitely not ideal, I would say.
Little contact there. Yep. And then just behind that, everyone is just squeezing through. Trevor McLaughlin, he was in the middle of the track. Get one more look from what happened to the 2 car, and then we'll get back to relative live footage here.
And I think he thought he was
33
out of it
Dewey.
And just accelerated.
McClendon had to basically come to a stop. Driver's going through the grass, which, again, usually that wouldn't mean anything here in triple bypass, but now we're on an incident clock, an incident cap, a strict one. Again, 10 will get you to the drive-through penalty of sorts, and then 16 will send you on home. And a few of these drivers, that might be their second hit on the night.
Yeah, I mean, just depending on what happened there, I mean, there are some drivers that could already be at that 10X, which is kind of crazy to say, all things considered. The one good thing about this is any drivers who hadn't pit can now pit and get everything back here as everyone sorts things out. Again, 45 for the stage, so 25 laps to go here to get to the stage.
Yep, in this race, again, now it's interesting, Brex. We did the other day, there was a Winter Classic, and I actually took part of it. The Gen 4 at Atlanta, car with more horsepower, and a track that's even less grippy than this. And we went that race with only one caution. So I know the next gen, some drivers say it would race really well here, but at least in a virtual sense, seems to be tough to handle tonight.
I think these cars in general are just tough to handle, and that's just a driver with no skill kind of speaking out loud, is that I think these cars just demand a different driving style than what other cars do that are very strictly oval cars in the service. So I think it just sometimes catches drivers off guard because they don't think about the fact that these cars demand a slightly different driving style. You gotta be nicer to them than you do other cars, such as the Gen 4s. So you really just have to be careful with it. And some drivers, just the finesse isn't always the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting from a NASCAR perspective that, you have AAA baseball, AA baseball, single A. It's all the same game at the end of the day, just at a different skill set. And then you have the Xfinity, now O'Reilly Series, Truck Series, and they in no way prepare you for what we're doing here today. And I think we have gotten an addition to the pace lap here. So we'll keep going even though we're doubled up, stacked up. We'll keep going once more. But yeah, it makes you think it almost hurts the O'Reilly Series or helps it. Because what you do in that O'Reilly Series, which they do emulate that on Thursdays here within the league sanction, it does not translate in all to what you do here on Sundays.
It does not. And that's the thing that catches a lot of people off guard is, if you run the traditional, sort of step up the ladder sense of short track, ARCA, trucks, O'Reilly's, and then coming up to Cup, you literally just said it, and I'm going to reiterate it. Everything that you learn coming up about how to handle the car doesn't translate into these cars.
Like so
it genuinely...
If you run GT4, then you go up to a GT3.
You learn more.
Yeah, you're just doing the same thing but faster, so to speak. But yeah, it is the aero map and underbody, which may or may not be changing. They are doing a test at North Wilkesboro with some major aerodynamic changes, at least on the short track, so we'll see where it goes there. But either way, this race is snailing its way by, but we'll get it going soon enough here as let's try it again for another restart, Brad.
Yeah, bringing it around here through turn 4. That iRacing pace car will yank into the pits, and it'll be one Mr. Gresh who is going to lead us off here with one Mr. Herzog to the outside. Green flag flies. We get going there. Mark Jarrell a little bit slower on the start. Kyle Gresh with a beautiful restart there, and even Mark Herzog with a beautiful getaway in second. But third place on back. We're going to be side by side. Great battles through 1 and 2 coming around here, and then coming out, Mark Jarrell is going to be trying to block Keaton Crothers. Keaton Crothers going to be looking to get back up in the front as quick as he can.
Everybody kind of doing a different game right now. Herzog, the only driver who hasn't actually made a pit stop, so his fuel situation is going to be quite risky and quite up in the air. A lot of cautions, but I don't think it's enough to save him 15 laps, but we'll see what happens if we do actually run green. There's the two of McLaughlin there who had issues. He was sideways on that last caution, but now stuck in a gaggle of sorts. There's Cam Kane. Remember, he won Atlanta, and I believe the league closest finish there in the middle now of a 3 wide.
Yeah, and right in the middle of 3 wide through 3 and 4, not the best thing to do. It does finally sort itself out 2 wide here. Down the inside, we'll go Brad Kress, Ben Harcum following through, Alcoy to the outside. We might take it back 3 wide into turn 1 here. Nerney looking a little quick there on the eye line, but he backs out of it through 1 in mid-corner. He's going to give a little bit of room there, and he's got McClendon to his inside, who again, involved in an early incident, trying to work his way back up on the stage. Up front, down the inside, Jeremy Brown, that's a name we said a lot last season, came up a little bit short. He wants this season to be his season.
He does. Remember, had a couple issues last season, races that didn't go the way he would have liked, and wants to have a nice fresh start, chance at that championship here. And obviously Gresh not affected as much as I would have thought by that heavy front end damage, but he's hanging on with the lead with some serious pace. Mark Gerald doing a good job. He raced never mind.
And caution out, Air Jordan.
Those aren't going to have any resale value after this one.
And we do have a disqualification. First incident cap has been hit.
Oh, who was that? That was the 11, I believe, of Armstrong that literally went under the shoe and it unbuckled his hood.
See, Mike Serra has been involved, has a meatball flag as well. The number 70 somewhere catching a meatball flag.
I wonder if that was an arrow thing. The way that he came right, up to his spoiler ever so quickly. I know these next gens aren't necessarily arrow happy in the sense of like rear spoiler getting loose, but I wonder if as quickly as the 11 closed in, if that got him loose. But either way, serious wreck. Already have, as you said, 1 incident retiree here on the day. And we're still not even to the stage, Brad.
Drivers, buckle it in. It's going to be a long one here. Y'all,
did you correct yourself? Did you correct yourself from saying fun?
I almost said a fast one.
Oh, I was like, our mid-season misery already in postseason form?
Nah, no misery when triple bypass is involved. This is just one of those, again, I think it's dusting the cobwebs off on round 1. And, it's been 6 weeks since these guys have raced these next gens in a very highly competitive setting. And yes, triple bypass is all friends and fun, Corey, but you and me both know, because we have raced with them throughout weeks on non-broadcasted races, they get competitive.
It's been 6 weeks since you looked at me. And then you said something that was going to make me do a Lifehouse with you and me. But never mind, and we're not going to go that far down into the rabbit hole of terrible puns, although the rate this race is going, it may be inevitable here, heading down the branch stretch. You talked about this track being the only one that has a Geico restart zone. Also, the only track that still has Monster Energy NASCAR Cup billboards circa 2018. But again, with this track being on the 2026 calendar, Chicago street course out, at least in the short term, I expect us to get a sexy version of this place within a build or two, but we'll enjoy it in its current form for the time being. Any pit stops to be had? Waiting for Herzog. I guess at this rate, Brad, Herzog may have enough to make the stage with all these cautions. Still has yet to come to pit road.
Is he, coasting at all through this caution? Is he cutting the engine off, clutching in? What's he doing here? 5th gear rolling.
Yep. He is rolling it as little as possible. Let's bring up our whiplash on board. Yep. 2,000-ish RPM, so.
He might make the stage. He might just make the stage.
Well, it's possible. I mean, stage points do matter. Of course, the top 10 do get points that will, again, carry into their race standings. And you never know. We have a 3-race playoff, which, if you're watching this live, we don't know what we're going to have for a NASCAR Cup playoff. Are we actually emulating the same thing? Who knows? Do we have a Winston Cup? Do we have a 10-race chase? That's what my bet's on, but we'll see what happens there. But either way, at least triple bypass style, we have a 3-race set. We have Talladega, California Speedway. What is this, 2009? And then Kansas Speedway. That will be our 3-race set. Want to have as many points as you can so you can be in that playoff with the seeding to help you win a championship. Gresh and Brown front row. Restart zone in that Geico box. Hopefully no hard hooks to the right. Looks like everybody gets on the loud pedal nice and clean as we go green.
Bringing it around into turn one, Kyle Gresh very quickly defending on Jeremy Brown. They're back here behind them. It's 2x2. It's 3 wide already as everyone is just trying to battle it through there. The Hot Wheels car trying not to take a loop-de-loop and find his way around. He settles in. Crothers wanting to find his way forward. Sean Bradley wanting to find his way forward. All these guys trying to make it to lap 45 for the stage here and just battling it through as they will go to lap 31 of 45 now.
As we have another battle for the lead, just as we had prior to the break. Brown trying to make the inside lane work to his advantage. And with Gresh hitting the wall, that should be the case. Now, what's Dylan going to do? Dylan's going to back off. Freeman in the number 31. Probably could have went low, but chose to back it down. Now he's going to cut low, drive down the hill off turn number 4. Cut all the way down to the apron, try to gain as much as he can. He won't have enough, but I think Gresh should be able to rip the top and survive in 1 and 2 if he does not hit the wall, which he's given himself some space, doing pretty well up there.
Yeah, good run from him there, and now he's able to get the run down the backstretch. Defense there from Freeman on Gerald. Gerald able to make it work, though. Didn't back out of it there, and then into 3 and 4. That uncrustable car is going to absolutely make the sandwich around here. Go through the outside, hold the line. Freeman trying to build a little bit of momentum there. Sean Bradley finding a bit of momentum in the background. Dylan Freeman still trying to hold on. Gresh ripping very low down the front stretch and then coming back high into 1 and 2. And Dylan Freeman down on that low line, just can't keep the momentum there, but he's going to pull up with Jarrell. He's going to drop low now, and then Sean Bradley now in the mix here. Dylan Freeman, I tell you what, man, you are falling down like Avril Lavigne's career. You are dropping backwards, buddy.
Yeah, but it still looks good in the bikini, as we showed on the Discord the other day, even at age 40, 41, whatever she happens to be. Keaton Crothers to the top of the track. No longer a triple-digit number, as I just now computed that. 809 down to number 12, so... And I would like to point out, I am no longer number 094. I have gained my number 94 status here and triple bypass number reassignments done in the off season. Down to the inside is Brad Kress against Zach Nerney, who we alluded to him many times. Brad Kress doing a slide down through the tri-oval. Unlike Cletus McFarland in his Daytona contract, there won't be a $200,000 fine for that, but he will lose some track position.
A lot of track position, but better to lose the track position than lose the car, I think, as he goes through. And pretty good save there and just barely clear there. Dylan Freeman coming through. And now we jump back. Steve McClendon working his way up slowly but surely. 10 laps of the stage. He's got to just do what he can to try to get back up. Can he get back up in the top 10? He's got 12th, 11th, and 10th ahead of him. So he's got 3 cars to pass to get some sort of stage points to kick off this season. Let's see what he can do here. 3 wide into turn 1. Oh boy,
the gal may have got body slammed there by the 2, and I'd be interested to hear Al's radio after that. Probably wouldn't have taken it too kindly there. Going a little bit further back, remember Derek Catt had that issue on the restart, and now he is back in the mid-20s. Nicholas Deal going all the way back here. Again, we got 40 plus cars here. Well, not 40 plus, but we have 40, and we do have a caution.
Texas Pete finding his way around sideways in the Geico restart zone. Let's get a quick replay here. See how this one occurred. Was this just a case of the hospital wobbles?
Yeah.
Somehow missed McClendon by a millimeter.
Yeah, the Taco Bell car there did a good job at evading as well, but that was just single car looseness. Now McClendon did... Let's see if it was a similar... No, he just... I can't even blame any arrow there. Yeah, McClendon just lucked up. Remember, he's on his backup card there, too. But that right-hand hook back in the middle of the track. Yeah, we roasted Tyler Ruelas a lot last season, Brad. I might have to give him some good evasion points here on this one.
Yeah, that was impressive on him to avoid that. Let's watch on board for him here. What happened? You see the car going loose. He goes up. He goes high. And now man, I don't know how he avoided that. I would have been
And the car didn't.
Oh, man.
The car didn't bite too much when he made that hard cut, spinning himself out, as we've seen many a time this season. Well, this could be an interesting decision, Brad, for some drivers. Again, this is not going to encompass the stage. However, it will be so close to it that you can pit now, take your tires. Everybody else will flip, pit at the stage. So you could flip the stage, so to speak. Get yourself track position for the next set. Anybody choosing to make that decision, and there's a whole bunch.
That's what I would do.
If you know you're already out of the top 10 and you're not going to get stage points, why not, right?
Honestly, I think it's a good decision to flip the stage if you're outside of the top 10 and get yourself a little bit of a better position moving forward. And then also it really opens up your strategy a little bit into the second half of the race. So we're going 100.
Al, did you just drive six?
Al.
Yeah, just drove about 6 pit stalls too far forward there, so to speak. But Dylan also had to back up, so I can't just throw him under the bus. But that will be the pit cycle there. About 10-15 drivers making that call into the attention of their crews. Again, we want to give another shout out here on the day. So if you are... you didn't catch this, and the logo is in the corner of the screen, but today's race presented by Sean Bradley, the C-Vue Radio 130. You can check that out. Again, www.CVUE.ca. Actually, I don't even know why I said www. That's such a 2000s thing. Nobody says this. Nobody preludes it with www anymore.
I was going to say, I haven't heard someone go www dot
in a
very long time.
A little English oddity, which the English language is weird. So World Wide Web, 3 syllables. www is the abbreviation. W. The abbreviation is 9 syllables. When just saying the actual word is only 3. I did in the words of Bill Weber, rest in peace, I did the math, so you didn't have to.
I don't have a response to that other than to point out the driver in P8 started P38.
Hey, there's 8s. But
so,
and on the realm of Nerney, we talked about him a lot late last season, that this could be a breakout year for him, at least to get that first oval win. He was really starting to come on strong towards the end of the season, and not starting too well here today, but again, I would expect that number 36 be a playoff driver and be contending for a trophy before season's end, Brad.
Should we make bold season predictions here really quick? Should we do some predictions once we hit the stage?
Why not? We'll do it.
I think we will.
Well, let's see what happens here. Let's see if we can make it to the stage. Again, we have different strats at play, but Jeremy Brown on the loud pedal early and gets a jump of champions there. Maybe that's a prediction in disguise, but he will get that jump. We have drivers on fresh tires, drivers trying to get through, so we'll see how this all comes together in about 4 laps. See if Gresh takes that fast repair and gets that damage fixed on the next caution, but there's Sean Bradley, there's Uncrustables, and who's the first one on fresh tires? I think that may be... It's so hard to tell with how jumbled up the results are right now.
I was going to say, I have no idea who would be the first car on fresh tires right now, but I can tell you right now that everyone's racing it to the stage, so everyone's driving it hard here, trying to make a move. Oh,
Dylan bounced off the apron there, washed up the track slightly. Again, these drivers, they are on the fresh tires. How much of them they choose to use, how aggressive do they want to be using that Goodyear is never mind.
And that...
Two-car
was the number 2.
McLaughlin there. Can we just call him Rhett because it's kind of the same last name?
We could actually.
Like that. No, it was Epting.
Oh,
Epting was in the wall. Oh, and then Marty Rogers dented the can there. McLaughlin.
And then that is where the caution came from.
Trevor McLaughlin. Now, Rhett is technically Rhett McLaughlin with like a U. There's no U in there, but it's close enough. So I mean, we make a lot of nicknames. So Trevor, can we just call you Rhett just because why not? Maybe you can get Good Mythical Morning to sponsor you. Speaking of a lot of syllables there in the word, but this should encompass the stage. And
I believe it does.
No, I don't think I've ever gotten clarification on the rule, but I think I just did. If the caution encompasses the stage, is that first lap the stage, or do they have to actually get to 45? I don't know if I've ever got that question answered, but by the fact that they're pitting, I'm assuming the stage would be credited on lap 43, which means Jeremy Brown would get it, and then getting that first set of good years on the day, and then just as expected, Dylan Freeman staying out on those fresh tires, flipping the stage.
See, now you have fun strategies coming into play that are going to have to work their way out through this race for everyone who's flipped the stage. You have to do some math here now because they have to get, all of these drivers who just pit have to get off pit road cleanly, get back in, but now you've got tire deltas coming in, you've got fuel coming through, so if you factor in a 35, 10, what do we think, 35 lap tank of fuel here, depending on cautions, of course. So if you do the math from 45, add in 35, there's another pit stop, add in 35, there's another pit stop. So in theory, those who flip the stage, I think will have one less pit stop to worry about than those who pit at the stage.
Now, all that math was well beyond my level of comprehension, but I'm going to trust you, bro. But one thing we have to do, because we slacked off at it terribly at the end of the season, is we have to go and give a shout out to our race sponsor. Sean, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, well, it's one to go, so we won't yabber for too long, but obviously it's your race, new season. What's the expectations here in the 2026? Are you going full-time? I know a lot of guys are only going part-time in this season.
I'm probably going to be part of the part-time crowd. I'm hoping maybe full-time if ever, if the stars align, but we'll see what happens.
And just a quick shout-out for your C-Vue sponsor. I know you did it last season, but I'll give you the floor so you can go over that before you go green.
Oh, I didn't prepare for that. So C-Vue does oldies music and community stuff for the Sunshine Coast, but it's also worldwide. So check it out. It's oh no, is it C-Vue.ca or C-Vue.net? I'm sorry, Dad.
C-Vue.ca.
I'm sorry. C-Vue.ca. Thank you.
All right. Well, we'll let you go, man. Good luck. I know a lot of strategies, a lot of work to do. Difficult race. Let's see if you can make something happen.
I'm just hoping I don't get sponsor cursed and, get wrecked or something like that. So I'm happy with anything other than that.
No liability. Go ahead.
Thanks.
All right. They are worldwide, but I don't think they play Pitbull and Mr. 305. Anyways, coming off of corner number 4, stage 2 in the books in a matter of seconds here. Let's dot the ink in the paper there. Green flag in the air. Dylan Freeman gets the jump. And they are all stacked up back there. Luckily, no spins, but definitely guys in the back not getting up to speed too well.
Somebody spun the tires there on the restart. Not sure who it was, but definitely somebody struggled to get up to speed, and it just checked everybody up here as they come off of 2, looking fairly good right now, going into 3. Top 10 going single file, and as I say that, McClendon pulls out to get a top 5 there as he goes underneath the inside of Alcori. Back here, Kyle Gresh trying to hold on to it, and guys just kind of moving their way around, trying to find somewhere to be comfortable. We still have plenty of time left in this race, though, just to get to lap 130. We got at least 83 more laps.
Yep, our estimated clock would be about 45-ish minutes of racing if this is to go green flag, which trend would not lean in that direction, but in the words of Kevin Garnett, anything is possible here. As Lombardi to the inside of Clifford, the big red dog. Adam Highline Shaw, as we credited him with last season, and doing that high lane. Actually, he's running the sissy high lane. Adam, you got about a lane out there. There you go. Put it up on the fence, bro. Get that nickname settled. I think McClendon tried to do that and put himself in the wall. Lost a little bit of time. He'll try to regroup.
Yeah, he did, and then Zach Armstrong squeezed him a little bit there, but as Zach tried to do that, Caleb Brown just working his way around the inside and finding his way through, along, and out. Al Corey here trying to find his way through and squeeze something somewhere. He's going to look inside, outside. This is down on the flat, the part that's not the track, but is a track, is Michael Hopkins there running the apron on the front stretch to hold the low line in 1 and 2.
And there's McLaughlin. There's Rhett back there into the fence in the number 2 car. If he doesn't have a good mythical morning paint scheme next week, then I'm just losing all credit that they actually listen to us, because they used to do a really good job with that. All jokes aside, but Gresh did not get the damage fixed. Maybe it's handling better, and he wants that messed up nose. I mean, you never know. I mean, it's happened before.
I mean, we've seen drivers do crazy things before and then like the car better after they bump something out of alignment. It wouldn't be the first time. It's happened in the real world. You know it's happened in the sim world, so nothing would surprise me with that. Keaton Crothers currently sitting P13, trying to get past Rhett on the outside there. Keaton to the inside, see if he can make his way along. He's certainly giving it the old college try, clears through. Nerney there in the mix as well, trying to get back in the top 15. Everybody... This is the one thing with Chicagoland is you could pick a line and there's a car in it usually. 3 wide here as they go through 1. That goes back to 2 wide. It'll probably come back to 3 wide on the exit of 2.
There goes Rhett. Harcum did the power move to the inside. Didn't work. Rhett took the outside opportunity there in the 2 and made some serious headway. And there goes again Harcum up to the top. The top very bumpy here. Very difficult to run that super high lane in 3 and 4. But we may have a battle for the lead shaping up. Dylan has it, and Kyle Dewey wants it. The Avid Sphere Camaro. Is it still a Camaro? I think it is still a Camaro, even though Chevy doesn't actually make a sedan anymore. How that got allowed, that's a different question to answer. But that battle for the lead looking pretty strong right now. And I mean, I guess we actually, this is not something we do very often, Brad. We actually got to give Dylan a little bit of shout here, because he won Daytona. I mean, but Daytona is a different can of worms, but a track that, dare I say, requires skill, and Dylan actually came to play here today.
Wait, are we being nice to Dylan right now?
I know. I mean,
are you turning a new leaf in 2026? Did I miss something? Did I miss a memo somewhere?
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I have a second YouTube channel of personal things. I just hit 1,000 subscribers over there. Things are actually looking pretty well in the personal world. So you know what? Maybe I'll pick a new optimistic perspective of life, but that may make things boring here. So that means you have to be the miserable other side. But we'll see what happens as we go 3 abreast in the middle of the pack. That is Derek Catt in the middle. That is Chad Bear looking to the outside, and Zach Armstrong looking to the low side of the racetrack. This is all in the mid-teens, and I do want to focus and go back and talk about some names we haven't seen. There's a car I've not talked about. That's the 53 of Chris Graves. New name to the league that I love seeing drivers enter and join the triple bypass realm. Mike Sara. I thought you said he got disqualified out of the race, but evidently not.
No, that was Keith Hanlon who took a DQ earlier.
All right. Whoopsie-daisy. Anybody else here that's new-ish that I don't recognize? There's Epton. We've talked about him. Tyler. Naj. He's cruising back there in the AMSOIL. Again, Nichols Oil Pros. As Ruel, as we already complimented you once, bro.
Save it. Oh, no, Herzog. Ouch.
Do we fine him $200,000 for messing up the grass?
Yes, we do. And maybe an extra $50,000 because it's Tyler and I'd like a nice steak dinner.
Oh, 57 now. Herzog. Now we have to go on board here. Now, did Herzog approach this in the safest manner possible to evade?
So this is something that I actually recently just talked with my wife about.
He was full. He didn't back off. He was full throttle. I heard it.
Yeah, when you see a car though spinning, you aim where it's not gonna be. So in theory, if Herzog had stayed on the racing line, he would have been fine there.
Yeah, gravity does a thing. I mean, there's two sides as well. Sometimes you actually want depending how the wreck is transpiring, you'd rather speed through it than slow down, but traditionally slowing down does increase your reaction time. So, take a little bit, give a little bit. Yeah, I know. So this would be a really good race to play our caution game, but we'll do that much later in the event because why would we want to play it this early? So other things to talk about. Brad, give us something else to talk about.
I think something interesting here, just kind of watching how the drivers are going, is the fact that we've only had 4 drivers out of this race, and we are approaching half distance. Half distance will be lap 65, if I am not mistaken. And it looks like pit stops coming in here. This is going to give a lot of drivers an opportunity. Fresh tires. I see a lot of fresh tires. I see Herzog in the background. I'm expecting the backup car to show up for Herzog if he has one available. And see, it looks like Epting took a backup car there. Still don't see Herzog taking a backup car. Hopefully he has a backup car.
Yeah, don't see it thus far. I mean, let's see. He's at a very extended pit time there, about 30 plus seconds. So, and actually, let's pull up his onboard graphic here. No, he still has it. See, repair 0, so he has yet to pull the fast repair trigger, so he still has that backup car on the wall for his choosing, but has chosen not to use it.
I'm really shocked he didn't have a meatball flag out of that hit, to be honest, because that was a very, very hard hit there from Tyler. So how that didn't give him a meatball flag and break a suspension component in the front end, I will never know.
Questions that will go unanswered here, but as you said, only 3 drivers formally out of this race. Still have 36 drivers within 2 laps of the leader, 33 of which being on the lead lap. So it's still wide open. How many drivers are on the cusp of elimination or at least some form of penalty? We don't have that answer, but we could infer that it will be a decent amount of people that will have to be on their P's and Q's here at Chicagoland for the next 70 laps of this race. A couple drivers took tires, as you alluded to, Brad. Now, that would mean they would only have one more set for these next 70 laps. It is totally doable if the race finishes, in a green flag flare, but with the caution vibes we have, I would want to have as many sets as possible for that late race caution.
Yeah, I don't know that see, this is the challenge though with only 3 sets of tires, is it kind of puts you in a position of how do you sort of mix that up? And for me personally, on 130 laps, I'd be going stage, and then probably about lap 90 is where I would want to take my last set of tires. But drivers are going to do what drivers are going to do. Pace car pulls in. Dylan Freeman up front here with Kyle Dewey. Can he do it? Let's see how they kick it off. Green flag waves, and good jump there from Dylan Freeman. Kyle Dewey will have to hold off the hard charger of Jeremy Brown.
And off into the corner here, the Steve McClendon 3-time looking to the inside of Dewey. And there's Jeremy Brown. Remember, he got the stage. He seemingly had the fastest car, pulled out by about a half a second prior to all the cautions around the halfway mark, and not looking to waste any time driving right to the inside of the racetrack underneath Dylan Freeman. Somebody kissing the concrete there. I think that's Clifford the Big Red Dog. That's Adam Shaw, taking his name too literally, Adam Highline Shaw. There goes Caleb Brown. He was backwards on the track at some point. There's Sean Bradley, our race sponsor, and there's Rhett himself, the 2 of Trevor McLaughlin.
And everybody just keeping a hard fight going here, trying to find real estate on this track, of which there should be plenty of real estate, and just trying to make it work here, give each other racing room, but be as competitive as they can. Dylan Freeman trying to hold off Jeremy Brown here and doing a good job so far. What would help Dylan Freeman right now with Raw Dog Racing? If Steve McClendon will get his way up here, because Steve McClendon, Jeremy Brown, that's a battle we saw time and time again through season 9. Here we go on board with Jeremy Brown, side by side. Jeremy Brown, Dylan Freeman. How does this end up in 3? To the inside, outside, hold on to it. Dylan Freeman slightly losing out here, but can he clear? That is the big question for Jeremy Brown there, is can he clear?
And the answer will be a resounding yes. But again, for Dylan Freeman, I don't think he should be upset at all by that because, again, he is, dare I say, kind of battling out of his league here. Not to say he's bad, but, you know, he doesn't go for these wins that often. This may be a newfound Dylan 2026, but he should be very proud of what he's doing thus far in the event. There's Hopkins to the inside of, who is that, Adam Shaw, and then Justin Baxter, someone who was very competitive in the ARCA series last year, stepping up to the Cup series here in Triple Bypass and in the top 10 and looking for more as he is just trying to find some open real estate.
And trying to keep that open real estate going if he can, and there's not a lot of it right now with how tightly packed this pack is. It's very, very impressive to see here at this point just how close the pack has stayed together as we run through, looking outside, looking inside, trying to find their way along. Up front, it is starting to spread out here, but everyone pretty much P7 back, really having to keep the elbows out and keep the fight alive as they go here down through 1 and 2 yet again. And you can see everyone's starting to search a little bit on the track there. And Corey, I think everyone's just trying to make these tires last here. We're officially half race distance, and you've got to get all the way to the end.
Yeah, but another thing you can see, again, iRacing constantly evolving and updating physics and trying to aim for further realism. They have tweaked the aero model, and I'll finish that thought later.
And caution out. That's a junk car. That is rough.
What happened to Mr. Harmon here? Oh. Gotta get one more look at that. He was in a gaggle of sorts here. That number 28 Harmon Racing, believe it to be a Ford if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what happens through 3 and 4. He's in the middle lane. Lost it all by his lonesome. Hit Brad Kress. 70 got hit. Gresh may have just barely got by a whisker, but 3 and 4, Brad, seems to be the trouble spot. And it is the bumpier side of the racetrack objectively. And it seems as though if you're not on the bottom, you are really going to be struggling to make through those bumps.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting to really see how they handle the top, the bottom there and try to get their way through, because that is a hard hit there. And it goes to show just, again, back to the handling of these cars, just how quickly these cars can get out of hand if you're not on top of it.
Yeah, that is certainly the case here. Drivers are struggling and trying to make it happen here. But while we are on our on another caution, we're going to step aside for a brief moment, get a breather. We'll be back with you for the restart, as I suppose we'll wait and see how these pit stops work out first.
See here, pit stops coming through. I wasn't expecting a lot of pit stops either, but clearly everybody deciding to do something we didn't think. Half race distance, and let's go ahead and pit it in. Jeremy Brown, Steve McClendon, everybody through. Dylan Freeman in. Ben Harkeman, Al Corey in.
Oh, tires going on.
Yeah, a lot of tires being taken. I got to wonder, do all of these guys still have one more set after this?
Not going on for everyone. McClendon only had fuel only, but tires going on. Jeremy Brown, that is an interesting call there. But again, while that will get you caught up to speed after at the restart, we'll be back in just a minute. All right, we're back here on PTR TV for the Triple Bypass Cup Series, the C-Vue Radio 130 at Chicago. It's been a very difficult day for a lot of these drivers here after another caution flag. Let's get back at it for lap number 70. Nicholas Deal, the control car on the outside lane, gets a whale of a jump there over Gresh in second. Different strategies at play there on that last caution. Let's see how the different fuel strats, tire strats, fuel, speed, how all that blends together here.
Yeah, we'll see how all of this plays out here to get through to lap 130. Plenty of time to go here on this C-Vue 130 run. Down the inside goes the Brandt car, the number 89, AJ Lombardi. Little jiggle there of the white line, I don't know what the words are, but losing a lot of pace there, dropping back as Sean Bradley will try to pass him to the outside and drop him outside of the top 10.
And then good race there in the back. There's Baxter. There's Clifford, the big red dog, in the back of the pack. Trying to stack things up here, so to speak. Not trying to, but that's just the end result. There's Donald Bristow, and we haven't talked about Al Corey, who's been kind of quiet here in the middle portion of this race. Was top 10 for a portion of it, but has since been shuffled. But at this point, kind of hard to tell who is where on speed and who is where on different paces, Brad. We don't really know who has long run pace because we really haven't had a long enough run to kind of piece that together.
Yeah, it's been interesting to sort of see. Nobody's gotten to really stretch the long-term pace legs out. It's been a lot of short and medium runs being kind of the name of the game here. Nobody's gotten the long run pace, and I'm interested to see if we can get that long run in. Kyle Gresh and Nicholas Deal up front, battling it out side by side. This would be an indication of long run pace, I feel, if Kyle Gresh can get through. And I think he did fix the nose under the pit stop there. He's got a fresh front end on that car and definitely seems like he's got a bit more pace in the car now here. We'll see if he can stretch his legs, but you've got to watch for everyone behind to start moving their way forward too as things shuffle.
Yeah, he did not take a fast repair, so that is purely the pit crew going to work, taking that additional time in the pit stall to make that happen. There's Derek Catt in the Sitco car looking to the inside of McLennan. Remember, Catt had a catastrophic restart where it caused an incident of sorts, but still in a good spot. Nerney there doing well as Adam Bossy, who I believe was the ARCA champion, if I'm not mistaken, in last season's campaign. Nerney kissing the safer barrier off of turn number 4, as it looks as though I thought I saw Gresh side by side, but that was just perspective there. But either way, good racing here. At 83 to the bottom, the Sitco car of Catt to the top.
Yeah, watching here side by side between Catt and the 83 there of Adam Bossy going through. And I believe you are correct that Bossy was the ARCA champion. He's definitely someone that knows his way around the cars and seems to be doing pretty well here. Of course, Zach Nerney having a good time here going through as well, the Foss Racing team driver. I'm just trying to be consistent and do what Zach does, which is kind of go from nowhere to somewhere very quickly. He tends to do that.
Yeah, and hopefully it stays somewhere and doesn't go back to nowhere, as some drivers have had to witness that. There's to the inside. That's Caleb Brown just exiting the pits. Must have had a drive-through. Yeah, the only explanation, he had a drive-through, I imagine, because he is fast and just went through the pits, didn't stop in a stall, so that must have been a 10 incident point penalty for Caleb Brown. Remember, he was backwards at one juncture in the race, which is an automatic 2X, so obviously he's going to have to be careful. Not too many incidents can be spared for the remainder of his race. But they still battle side by side for third. AJ Lombardi and Michael Hopkins having a battle. Hopkins clears in the 10 car in the 10th position. And then Jeremy Brown not really making any headway there, Brad. I wonder if that's intentional to not use those tires too much. He did take tires on that last caution.
Yeah, I feel like if you're at this point where you have to get to the end, I think you need to be thinking about saving a little bit and holding on here for the long run. I think also one of the things that you can do really well is hold early and then let everyone else wear out their tires and then push on the second half. And that would be kind of what I think some of these guys are doing. Some of these really fast guys that are out of position right now, probably just trying to save a little bit and then find their way through. As Chad Baer currently sitting 17th, back from where he started. Of course, we saw his incident early on there where the car hospital wobbled left, came back right. It's been nothing but a recovery drive for that number 91 Busch Light car, and he's doing a great job so far, I'd have to say.
Yeah, he is doing a pretty darn good job, as is Adam Bossy, who's now going for second spot, closing in on Nicholas Deal. All the while, Deal seeming to not let go of Kyle Gresh, trying to make something happen there. Slightly different lanes, try to get out of the dirty air, trying to make something happen grip-wise. Now he's going to the low side of the track, maybe trying to eliminate some draft as we have a caution, and it's Nerney.
No, Nerdy back to nowhere. Let's see here as he is holding the brakes, coming through. Tyler locking it up on the back end.
We complimented Tyler once. That was just one too many, evidently.
Yeah, that's on us. What happened here for Zach? Let's see
By his
how this
lonesome.
went. And just a little bit loose, and then once the car snaps a little bit, you just can't recover it.
All right, now 10 years later, how does Tyler screw this up?
Oh, because Naj. Where did Naj come into this?
Do we take back a little of our sass?
Yeah, I'm going to take it back because I don't know where Naj came into this to be. So Naj was running with Chad.
Another solo spin. And took out Clifford. And then he just let it roll. I mean, at that angle, it is hard to tell what's coming. But luckily for Tyler, it didn't hit anything. Now, one thing we didn't talk about, Brad, this at all, as we do have more pit stops, so we'll discuss that in a second. We didn't really go over what the weather is here today. And perhaps that is leading into why these drivers are having such a cataclysmic amount of trouble. Not 96 track temp, that's not a grotesque amount. We've seen track temps in the 130s before, so.
I was gonna say, I feel like I remember Phoenix having like a 129 track temp, if I'm not mistaken, last season.
What I was pointing out, go ahead, finish that thought.
It is something though that if you're not aware of it, if you're not, thinking about it, the way these cars are, it can get just a little bit loose, and that little bit of loose can be enough to take you out. So yeah, that's a interesting one to point out.
Something I was pointing it out prior to getting interrupted by a caution early. iRacing always evolving and doing updates. We're only a few weeks after a build, and they did tweak the surface model here. The track will put down more rubber. When you're in the rubber, you don't have an infinite amount of grip as you used to. But you can see here how much darker the track has been. I mean, if we had I don't have a static shot to the beginning of the race, but this track was green. And a lot of rubber has gone down in every which groove. So you could just see, and you could see the darkest being on that inside lane. So that just shows the dynamicism here of iRacing and how varied the lines have been here today.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see just how the drivers have used the whole track. I feel like every time we get a good shot through 1 and 2, or even 3 and 4, nobody is running the same line here. Everyone's got a line that they're comfortable with, or they've been comfortable to kind of shift lines. And so that's been really interesting to watch here through the day. And of course, they still need to get to lap 130. So still plenty of time for those lines to develop and for things to shift up and down and change slightly here as we go along.
We are, 47 to go? So still about 20-ish laps until we get to what would be the fuel window to make the end of the race. So where everyone stands on tires, I mean, it's purely a guessing game at this point. We don't have the telemetry to give us any specifics, and I've lost track, Brad, of who's on what. So we'll just have to see. I imagine everyone will have a set of tires, because if you didn't plan for that, then that is just a absolutely terrible error. But either way, pace car is in. We'll get it going once more on the loud pedal McClendon, our control vehicle. And there's our race sponsor, hoping not to get cursed. That's Sean Bradley in second.
Yeah, and as Sean Bradley comes through here with Steve McClendon up front, just trying to keep things going here just to finish out the first round of the season. You can see everybody on the exit of 2 holding it together. Down the backstretch we go and trying to just find a position, find a way through into 3. McClendon just trying to hold on, and Jeremy Brown there trying to stalk his way through. Brad Kress, we saw his save earlier. He is in a good position here to bring it along, and let's just see how they play this out here coming up to 85 and 130. I see 3 wide in the background there with the Twitch car trying to hold on to it.
That's Bossy down to the inside there. You see some good racing there. And there's Harcum trying his hardest to keep it off the fence. He'll do that by just a whisker there. And on board with Harcum, and he is behind Crothers right in that dirty air. And who's that down to the inside? Chad Bear, who is just, he used to be the road course specialist, Brad, but I'll tell you, he spanked us in the 87s a few weeks ago, and I think he won the Gen 4 at Atlanta, which it's the closest you'll get, I guess, to this, given the differences in cars. So Chad Bear, not just a road course specialist, he can win anywhere on any given Sunday.
That he can. He does a great job of it as he goes through, but sometimes, again, it's all that skill, but a little bit of luck has to go your way as well. So we'll see how he can find it through as we go 3 wide here with Hopkins all the way on the low line. Comes back up. That's the 3 wide with Jeremy Brown there, and then the cat's meow up on the high line, running the Sitgo car, and let's see where they come through on the exit.
Jeremy!
Oh, Jeremy with a wiggle. Hopkins able to hold on to it, but they check up behind, but I think everyone got away with it. I think.
Yeah, thus far,
they
anyways.
did.
I think Jeremy needs to. Oh, we're not. I'm pretty sure that was a wreck. I saw smoke, but we're good.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. We are about 17 wide or so. It looks like a Skippy race, but we are all good for the moment. Drivers every which place here. That's Harcum kissing the fence. Yeah, we're good. I don't know how we're good, but we are good.
Yeah, it looks like we are good there. That was a save and a half. Again, a little bit of luck sometimes has to come your way. So drivers very much cashing in on the luck here tonight as McClendon gets past Sean Bradley, but Sean Bradley's going to try to defend it down through the low line. But of course, one Mr. McClendon going to rip the high line. Let's see how he does on the exit of 2, holding on. Sean Bradley side by side. A little bit more pace here on the exit, and Sean Bradley slots into second place. We'll see if this stays like this here as we're coming into 40 to go, if I can do math correct.
Yep, 40 to go. It's still out of the pit window to make the end of the race. And, usually, Brad, we always say, do you want to bank on a green flag strategy or do you want to bank on a pitting under caution? I'm putting all my marbles on pitting under caution, but just because I said that, we'll run green all the way to the end. Strategy is always the toughest part of motorsports, but a great battle for the lead. McClendon has kissed the wall a few times. Again, ripping the outside in 3 and 4 is a very, very sensitive task, but it is rewarding when you can nail it. Sean Bradley going all the way down to the flat, trying to side draft side by side, can't do so, falls back into line. Again, McClendon all the way up there, inches off the wall, trying to drive off the wall is Bradley, but hard to keep that momentum up.
Yeah, it really is hard to keep the momentum up, but if you can, it is amazing. So just watch and see what he can do as we go along here on the high line. Sean Bradley on the low line here. McClendon trying to hold on to it, and another PTR TV logo. I don't think McClendon was the one we looked at earlier with the logo. We got a few drivers running the PTR TV logo.
Oh my goodness, pulling off his Tyler Reddick impression there, center of the corner. Steve McClendon. I mean, there is the pocket of air, the bubble of air, whatever you want to call it. iRacing has modeled that, and it will help you keep it off the wall when you do get within inches of it. You build up that air off the spoiler, and it, acts as some air pressure and kind of keeps you off of the wall. But great stuff there. And then Dylan Freeman, he is here to play. And these drivers, from what I'm interpreting, Brad, have fresh tires. Freeman, Bear, Jeremy, Rhett. Again, if you come into this broadcast late, Trevor McLaughlin, we're just calling him Rhett because Rhett McLaughlin, good mythical morning. Hopefully he rocks with it because it's just easier.
I hope he likes it, because if he doesn't, then that stinks, because I'm going to tell him that he should enjoy it. That's just my opinion, though.
Oh, my God. I was just trying to think of a good mythical morning joke, but can't do it. What's that one that they do when they put the face mask on? You can see, as you can see, we can't. Which some people would say our broadcasting skills are like that. But either way, I do like when they do that game where they eat the food of different price points and who likes fancy food and who likes cheap food. And I would always think I would like the cheap food. I'd do that challenge myself one day. Of course, if you don't know, a good mythical morning is welcome to planet Earth. But anyways, Michael Hopkins battling with Adam Bossy. Bossy, I feel like, was higher up the spectrum earlier, but tis no longer. Back there pushing the outside of the top 10. Gresh, he's someone, once he lost his track position, Brad, he's struggling to get it back too.
Yeah, it's so weird to see these drivers get in the position they're in where they're not able to gain back the time. It's been kind of interesting, really, to see how some of these drivers have shuffled back and forth through the field, and some guys able to hang out better in the pack than others as they go along and go through. Of course, Mr. Al Corey here has been kind of hanging out just outside the top 10. I'd be curious to see here as we go down to 30 to go coming up momentarily how he'll be able to reel in a top 10 as he tends to do going through, and he'll just find his way in just when you don't expect him to.
Well, taking advantage of long runs or maybe the caution strategy, whatever it may be, could work into the favor of Al Corey. But Dylan Freeman, again, he's had a great day, led some laps, currently in the 6th position. And just ahead of him is Adam Bossy, who, again, fresh tires for the majority of the field, except for Sean Bradley and except for Steve McClendon. They took fuel only on the last caution, and it will be very interesting as the pit window probably will be open right around lap 101, 102. I'd say that's the opening of the pit window. And if I'm McClendon, I'm pitting first possible opportunity to lose as little time as possible as Chad Baer tries to take that race lead.
Yeah, Chad Baer trying to find his way through. Let's see, down the low line, shuts the door, and McClendon with a switchback through, going to the inside here. He says, okay, you want to play that game? We'll play that game. And let's see here as they run through lap 99 of 130. Down to the inside goes McClendon, and outside Chad Baer. I feel like I've seen this come through once or twice before, and I don't remember if I like the ending or not. So we'll see how this plays out as it goes through. Kyle Gresham 3rd, and Adam Bossy in 4th, Sean Bradley in 5th. Feel like we have the heavy hitters, the Titans of the league, all very close together, ready to really just duke it out and do some war.
Exactly that, and I just expect, as I said, McClendon, once you get past Brad, you're in a window, that is the number one opportunity to pit, because we are about 1 second, a little over 1 second, give or take, on the driver on fall off. We're off the pace here, so pitting that 1 or 2 laps early, that could have very positive effects. And as McClendon running the top of the track has no interest to pit this time by, window is basically open. I'm waiting for blood to draw here. Sean Bradley, another one I would expect to come in early, but staying on the racetrack.
Yeah, and just continuing along and staying out. I'm not surprised here, but it is interesting just to see all of the different decisions that are going along as these drivers continue through. I don't really know what Chad's decision is going to be here, when he's going to come in. It's got to be soon.
All right, so, yeah, Kyle Gresh took tires on the last caution. But, here we go. Here comes Steve. Here's Steve, and that's Sean Bradley as well as somebody else. Coming to the attention of their crews here. There's a Michael Hop. McClendon had to back up into his stall on the money stop. And somebody has spun out on the entry of the pits. That won't cause a caution, but it, just a point of interest there. It's one of the newer drivers to the league. We already looked at, I think that was, actually, I don't know who that was. Chris Graves, I think that was, but either way, out and back on it. With McClendon having to back up, it'll be interesting to see where he does fall back in line, Brad. He's going to gain time on the fresh tires, but lose time with that little mistake.
Yeah, and that one mistake can cost so much more than you realize. So we'll have to watch and see what happens here as they go through, coming along and around, and just trying to hold on to it at this point. And again, we're in that weird strategy window where who knows what's going to end up where, as we have more pit stops coming in. The 25 is now in as well. Kyle Gresh still continuing through. He's on lap 27 of the stint. I would expect the top 6 to all come in at the same time.
Dylan Freeman in, and he, oh, come on, Dylan. Why is it everyone?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
He still hasn't gotten it.
Everybody who we've complimented, which goes against anything that we usually do, and they've managed to mess it up royally. Here's Jeremy Brown. Let's see. Surprisingly, Brad, it's not up 105, and we haven't roasted that. He has the wrong league paint scheme on his car. You could see a competing league sticker and the wrong number, and we've somehow not called it out until up 105.
Yeah.
That's nice of us. That's usually a grid thing that we call that out on. So yeah, we are becoming nice folks here. What is up with us? I don't know how you are on Wednesdays, but we're turning into softies here on Sundays.
I mean, usually. Okay, yeah, no, I don't know what's going on here. Are we sure that we're PTR TV right now? I mean, I feel like we're doing things real weird right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to turn. I mean, we're not turning corporate yet, so we're not chill. So we gotta rough it up here.
Indeed.
There was another. I know I'm on the soundboard somewhere, but I don't think.
I've got it queued up.
Yeah.
For Pete's sake, my gosh.
Which surprisingly, with as many cautions as we've had, and we will play the caution game maybe around lap 120 or so. Didn't really go off the Richter too much here. There's Al exiting the pits. Nerney, where he had his faux pas. But again, Gresh, and he did this in another race that I ran. He had a super exaggerated strategy, and it did not work for him at all. I want to say it was 87s at Rockingham. He completely went on the we're going to get a caution and I'm going to trap everybody strategy, and it didn't work. And this happens to be the run, Brad. I said, do you plan for a green flag run? Do you plan for a caution pit stop? It's the time where I say, let's plan for a caution pit stop. Nah, we're going to run green. Oh!
What was that, Corey? What was that?
And a side of whoa. Peak a woo.
Oh, my
What happened to Bull?
Well, this is going to be interesting.
Oh, what happened to Bull? Nicholas Deal. What's the deal, bruh? Waka, waka, waka. And he was in the top 10, too. And that's what you call a hospital wobble.
Yeah, that's a big old wobble. Watch this one more time here, coming through and just going and going.
Oh, my God. That is just the cataclysmic hit there. And that was interesting because that was on the bottom of the racetrack. Typically, whenever we've seen that incident in 3 and 4, they've been on the top of the racetrack or the middle. So that was interesting. But as I said, Kyle went for the high risk strategy, and on certain occasions, Brad, the high risk strategy, it pays off. Case in point.
Yeah, it's very, very much one of those. I've said it 3 times now, and I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it throughout the season and throughout my commentary career and time span here. Sometimes a little bit of luck has to be in, but you have to hit your pit box. Come on, Gresh.
Oh, I saw that. He went in full bananas. I saw that. So we'll see if that has any effect. I think Adam Bossy was in second, and Bossy has the prime pit stall. So we'll see how that race works out. Bossy, I don't know. I mean, he may have led a lap or two, and there you go. That's botching a pit stop right there. Nerney will get out as well ahead of Gresh.
Yeah, and that was a big wiggle there in front of Jarrell, kicking the rear end out and coming through. That was impressive. So we'll see here how this plays out. 20 laps to go here, Corey, and I feel like this is one of those that you get to the end of the race, and even though it's the first round of the season, we're going to see some hard fights coming here in the next 20 laps.
Yeah, I mean, now it's money time, so to speak, and AJ Lombardi has not pit yet. I imagine he will, because there wouldn't be a logistical reason for him not to. Oh, that was a good never mind. I'm watching a football game under caution. Sorry about that. But no, he stays on the track. Unless our information is glitched, why would he stay on the track?
Which I don't think it is.
But 1 to green. So from what we understand, unless our information is somehow corrupt, which I don't think it is, overlays haven't crashed in this broadcast, he literally has no fuel and he's staying out as the leader on a end of race restart. What could go wrong?
Nothing will go wrong.
What could get you more on the bad side of the regulars if this goes wrong? Why are we stacked up 3 wide?
Are we doing World of Outlaws restarts?
I was gonna say,
what has happened?
You wanted the best. You got them 3 abreast, often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws. I didn't think it. There you go. My buddy Brandon Kreutz, who started this channel back in 2016. He is a major dirt guy, and that has been ever since etched in my head. And we are extending the green flag. Now, Lombardi literally should have no gas, but is staying on the racetrack. Oh, and I just realized, Brad, I'm going to have to look at the old PTR TV history. This is going to be the 10-year anniversary of PTR TV this year in 2026, believe it or not.
We're going to have to do something special for it.
I mean, it's not going to be my 10-year. I didn't start till late 2016, but yeah, it will overall. I'm going to go and check it right now because we're under caution, and we'll find out when that first ever broadcast was.
Yeah, we'll see here when that was. Yeah, I don't see a single reason for AJ Lombardi to be out right now. Just
unless our information's glitched. Unless it's glitched. I lied. 2020. It's 2017. I lied. So we got.
Oh well, that's lame.
January 5th, 2017. So all right. Sorry for the false hope there. But 9 years. That's still a feat, and I'm still proud of it. Obviously carrying on here. I only quit and retired about 17 times more than Brett Favre and Mark Barton combined. But here we are, and making some upgrades here, looking to go 4K at some point in the future, but I just got to get my wife to allow me to go to Micro Center one more time. We'll see if that works out. But what we'll also see works out is how AJ Lombardi, is he going to be able to go for the Super Bowl trophy here, or is he going to go on the not top 10 list? Well, I guess we'll find out together on the loud pedal. So far, so good. Let's get going.
We'll see how this goes here. Back green we go. Lombardi is out and about. Let's see what he does. 31 laps since he's pit. Did he just want to lead a couple laps? I assume for Lombardi that is what wanted to happen, but behind him is technically the battle for the lead here. Adam Bossi and Zach Nerney coming through. Zach Nerney 38th to 2nd. That's a ridiculous run for him. Let's see how this goes here as Lombardi has 18 laps to get to the end here to lead. Adam Bossi going to try to put a car between him and Nerney as they cross the line. 17 laps to go.
Oh, super tight there on the side draft by Bossi, and he will drive by like he ain't even moving here. I mean, Adam Bossi started this race on the pole back to P1. I mean, you could say, as I always joke, well, I guess nothing's happened in his race, but that is far from the case. He's passed probably more cars than anybody in the field, but Gresh will get up to P2, getting by Lombardi. Nerney has had a chaotic day, but he is in the top 5, and then it's Justin Baxter. Again, seeing some new names here in the top 5, mixed in with some old names, but all the while waiting for this to come through in about 8 minutes of racing.
Yeah, and that 8 minutes of racing is going to be real exciting to watch here as they go. Just got to get an idea of how it's going to end. And right now the answer is I have not an absolute clue here. Nerney going to use Lombardi as a pick to the inside to block Justin Baxter. He goes all the way down to the flat here. And again, the question is, when does Lombardi pit here? When does he go out of the way? What does he do? And you can see significant lift there through 1 and 2 as he goes through. Meanwhile, up front, Adam Bossi and Kyle Gresh really going to be battling out here. What can Waltrip do? He goes to the inside there, the 27, trying to get past the 83. Let's see how this plays out of 4. Chevy versus Ford. A tale as old as time. And down the inside, Kyle Gresh will lead 15 laps to go.
But Adam Bossi has what I would say is the preferred lane through turns 1 and 2, and that's up on the outside of the racetrack. He's going to try to make it stick, but Gresh may have enough to clear, and he will. Is there a crossover? Gresh is going to go low. He's going to go high. We've seen the top work in 3 and 4. We've also seen many drivers get loose up there, and Bossi's not going to have enough. Actually, Gresh gets loose on the bottom. Then he gets loose again. That's going to open the door to the inside for Bossi. Side draft move. Pulls him in. Door to door. I don't want to be on the bottom here, but maybe Bossi can dive it on in and clear. Let's see.
Trying to dive it in here. Can he clear on the exit? He's going to come up. He's going to pinch. He's not able to clear here. And now he's got to hold the inside. Gresh to the outside here going into turn 3. Let's see how this plays out into out. Gresh comes a little bit lower. Adam is trying to split lines there through 3 and 4. He's trying to get as much grip as he can. Little tap of the wall there, but no harm, no foul, side by side. And Adam Bossi will be credited with that lap here. 12 laps to go.
Yeah, Gresh just kissed the wall, but not enough to slow him down. But down to the inside is Bossi at 1 and 2. I mean, he gets 98% clear, but that's not going to be enough. It was 100% clear. Gresh get a setup for a crossover. We saw how loose Gresh got in 3 and 4 before. Now he's going to get the air shut up. Bossi's loose. Bossi's sideways. He saves it, but it opens the door for Zach Nerney to take the lead.
Zach Nerney capitalizing when he needs to. How they didn't wreck, I will never know. That was amazing from Bossi and Gresh. Get a replay of that here. And again, just that same thing we've seen all night. It's that little snap of the rear end from out of nowhere. And Gresh goes high, he backs out of it, and they didn't wreck. But I tell you what, that gave a half-second lead to Nerney that he's got to try to hold against Justin Baxter for the next 11 laps. Make it 10 as he hits the wall hard on 4.
That was a hard impact, and not enough to visually impair the car, but suspension-wise, hopefully he didn't bust a toe link or anything like that. I mean, I go back for us NASCAR historians to 2012. Jeff Gordon was first at Pocono. Rather, he was fourth at Pocono in turn 1. And by the end of turn number 1, he was leading. Just the Red Sea parted and gifted him a win. But in this case, Zach Nerney, I mean, he's gifted the position, but he's not gifted the win, as 10 laps is a lot of time. And I mean, Gresh is there. Gresh is a second back. He does have 3 cars to pass, but he is probably objectively the fastest of the 4.
He's in the mix. He could definitely be in the mix here. You just got to watch and see. He's got to make it work over 9 laps. And the thing is, if the tires don't have anything left in them, if he is really given what he could and it's kind of done at this point, then there's not a lot that can be done. Kyle Dewey currently battling it out with Kyle Gresh, and Gresh is going to try to just pinch a little bit there on the exit of 4, drops low. He has Dewey cleared now. What can he do coming up through? He is, well, Justin Baxter a little bit faster than Gresh, but not by enough to really show anything. Nerney's got to be careful here. He's got to hold it for 8 laps if he can, and he's just got to stay consistent the next 8 laps. Don't overdrive the car, and he's got to have a little bit of luck on his side. I've said it time and time again. A little bit of luck on the back end. It'll go a long way.
Worth noting as well, AJ Lombardi pulled the strategy of about probably 38 laps. He pitted about 4 laps ago, so that fuel load was not infinite, as you wouldn't expect it to be. But Kyle Dewey trying to battle with Adam Bossi. Bossi just got loose, and you can't blame him there. I mean, it just, the bumps, the slickness of the racetrack. Again, iRacing modeling that groove. Everybody's been running that groove. It's hot, it's slick, it's rubbered up. And then you move up the track, you don't gain any more grip because you have to deal with the bumps. Really a skill track here at Chicago. And just a very difficult moment, and hands Nerney make it happen. He's stabilized out at around 0.6 of a second. Let's pull up the battle graphic there, Brad, and in relation from Justin Baxter.
And watching here, that 37.9 to 37.2, again, just holding that stable through the next few laps. That's all he's got to do here at this point. And let's see here, coming through 3 and 4, that gap sitting right at 0.68, 0.73 now as they come across the line. And Zach trying to lock in here, find his line where he can, inside to outside, outside to inside, just trying to be smooth and consistent. 30.807, it's a little bit faster, Kyle Gresh, but not enough to make a difference. Now Kyle Gresh has to get past Justin Baxter here. Justin Baxter, let's see how he defends this, if he defends this. He's going to go high through 3 and 4, and Gresh should be able to clear quickly. Here comes Chad Bayer down the inside against Jeremy Brown. This could be a hard-fought battle, because look who's back there, Mr. 3-time McClendon, trying to come through. 3 of the titans of this league coming up and trying to go 3 wide to turn 1.
And I'm just looking, if a caution's going to happen, it's going to be right here in this shot. McClendon hits the fence there. There's Bear, and now they're going to squeeze the 3 wide. No, they're not. This is outside of the top 10. McClendon going to go elevator top to bottom there, get underneath Chad Bear. And that will fizzle out. But what is not fizzled out is Gresh and Baxter. This is less than a second back, but with 3 laps to go. Again, we have 2 laps of kind of gray area for Nerney. If we get to the white, we race to the checkers, but a caution could come out and send us into overtime. And some of these guys are so close to putting us in that situation.
Chad Bayer, Steve McClendon, Jeremy Brown, Brad Kress, they're not done back there either, so keep an eye on them as they go through. We'll be coming 2 to go this time by as we come out of 4. Kyle Gresh still can't clear Justin Baxter. He needed to clear him in a lap to try to have a run at Nerney, but unfortunately, I think the best of the tires is gone. I think the best of the run is gone here, and it's just smooth sailing to the end here if they can do it, and second place might be the best they can do here as they come along. Gresh, again, inside to outside, can't get past. He's going to try to side draft here, coming into 3, and as they do that, ahead of them by about half a second, Zach Nerney will come around to take the white flag here, Corey. It's 1 more lap for the guy that we said all last season was almost there, and here he comes this time, 1 lap to go.
1 lap to go, sponsored by, we don't have a sponsor for this segment, but the race that was so chaotic, a lot of drivers having ups and downs, including that there of Zach Nerney. Has the speed, though, got himself in the top 5, got himself in the top 3, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is to be good, but if you can do a little bit of both, the day could be yours, and that's what's going to happen today. The number 36 of Zach Nerney, race number 1 of 2026 Cup Series. Nerney's in the playoffs, and Nerney gets his first career triple bypass win.
I know we're not supposed to be biased here in the commentary booth, but I got a big smile right now. I have a big old smile on my face. So Kyle Gresh, second place there. Great run from him. He's able to run through in the end. And then, of course, a beautiful run coming in from the 38th to 1st. Wow.
Of course, Zach Nerney races in affiliated heavily with the Elbows Out Racing League that we broadcast here on the channel, and we've seen a lot of cross competition between the leagues, and started racing here in triple bypass and enjoys it and is a staple now in a majority of the week's races here in TBP, along with what he does on Wednesdays. And let's see, I know road guys aren't known for a lot of crazy burnouts and such, but we're on ovals, so burn it on down, Zach. You deserved it. You put yourself in position, and sometimes, like I said, when the seas part, take advantage of it and don't screw it up.
I really did think that when we had Chad Bayer, Steve McClendon, Brad Kress, and Jeremy Brown all 4 together there, I was fully expecting those 4 to get into each other there. But great run from everyone here tonight to keep the cars together, keep it alive. Incident cap didn't come into play except for one person that I think wasn't 100% their fault. Man, what a way to kick off 2026. Yeah. Unofficial results here on the screen.
Yeah, great race here at Chicagoland, but Zach Nerney getting the win, final margin just over a second over Kyle Gresh. What would have happened if Bossy didn't get loose? We'll never know the answer. Baxter Good solid run in third. Bossy in fourth after that wiggle. Kyle Dewey gets a fifth. Dan Williams in sixth. Mark General in seventh. Marty Rogers, Sean Bradley, the race sponsor. And we didn't talk about him all damn day, but Tex Nichols, the series sponsor with AMSOIL, he's in the top 10.
Nichols, wow, okay, we got to give him some love. Jeremy Brown, P11, Chad Bear, P12, Steve McClendon, three-time there, number 13 on the night, with Caleb Brown in 14th. Brad Kress, great save early in the race, finds P15. And Keaton Crothers, he was up front early, but it's 16th for him. Ben Harkham, 17th, Trevor McLaughlin in P18, Al Corey in 19th, and Dylan Freeman in 20th place.
Wait, who finished 18th?
Oh, Rhett, my bad. We got to find a link for Rhett.
There we go. I see what you did there. Donald Ristow in 21st, Michael Hopkins 22nd, Derek Catt, remember he had a chaotic restart in 23rd, Adam Shaw, Clifford the Red Dog, he did hold his Highline name, 24th, AJ Lombardi with the fuel strategy, 25th. Tyler Rales, we complimented him once and then retracted it about 3 times, but he finished 26th. Benson, Naj, Graves, and Sara, the top 30, and we still got a full 4th page there, Brad.
Oh, let's finish up the last 10 here. Nicholas Deal, Matthew Epting, 32nd, Zach Armstrong, Matt Harmon, Cameron Kane, Mark Herzog, Walker McNulty, Keith Hanlon, Joshua Bose, and Ward Fisher, the 40 cars that took on this competition tonight.
All right, and then I don't know. I was just reading something that I've never seen before, but either way, Mr. Nerney has found himself in victory lane, and Brad, who would I be to interview him? It's your boy. Go for it.
Zach, about time you get a win in the league, sir. We said it all the time last season in the booth that it was just a matter of time win, and, well, you show up in 2026 and show out, man. How's it feel?
Oh, it feels great. It just feels great to finally get that over with.
So why did you start 36? Like 36 to first, big old challenge on yourself. Did you start 36 just for fun?
No, I missed qualifying.
Okay, so just missing qualifying, going for the challenge there. And Zach, man, I gotta ask. I know you said this to me, a little bit of luck came into play. Is it sometimes better to be a little lucky and a lot of skill than no luck and skill alone?
Oh, 100%. Because if I didn't have any luck there, then I probably would have finished in the 20s after that spin.
Well, listen, man, it was awesome to see through, recover from the spin all the way up. And Zach, anyone you want to thank or shout out, sir, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Tex Nichols for sponsoring this whole series. Thanks, Sean Bradley, for sponsoring the broadcast, and thank you guys for doing the broadcast.
Awesome, man. Zach, congratulations, and I'll catch up with you later. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
All right, and then second place, Kyle Gresh gets the second place. So, Kyle, you finished second. You had a great battle with Adam. This place was loosey-goosey. You were sideways. Everyone was sideways, self-spins, and ultimately, just a bad wiggle for Adam. Just gave the win to Zach. What was going through your brain when you kind of saw that all happen out?
Yeah, I'm a little rusty. Don't do much racing anymore with the oval stuff. But yeah, I just was getting into the corner when I was in first, and I got super, super loose when I tried getting to the bottom. And I was like, why did I get so freaking loose? And then I got up underneath of... I got behind Adam there, and I got way too close to his rear bumper. I got him aero loose going into the corner, and that's what caused him to spin. So I shot him a message afterwards. I was apologizing because I didn't want to, take him out of a position there getting a win. I don't really care about myself. Just, it kind of sucks there to have a half spin, kind of eliminate somebody from contention there.
Yeah, we've seen it. I mean, it happened to many drivers, but fortunately for you, you still get a second out of the deal. You did have, we called it out on air, that last cycle. Of course, the race was pretty chaotic with cautions, and it finally cleaned up at the end, and you ran long, and I was nervous for you, and then you got that perfect caution to work it into sequence. How are you feeling with that strategy call, and was it a relief when that yellow gave you the break there?
It was a relief that it came out, but I had an idea of something I was gonna do, but yeah, like I feel like I would have been okay either side of the coin. But,
2 tires.
Probably.
I raced with you before. I know your games. But either way, man, a great solid run here today. I just got to ask you one more question. A lot of drivers this season backing down to part-time. I know McClendon. I know Bradley says he might be part-time. Where do you stand here for the Cup Series schedule and going for the title?
And hopefully my stuff's coming through all right here. Yeah, I'm hoping to maybe do the whole season, maybe. Just depends on work stuff. I don't get scheduled for working on Sundays. I work on Mondays, but I usually have to go in late enough Mondays where this can work, so maybe this and maybe Saturdays.
All right, well, we'll see what happens, man. We're at The Rock next week. You were quick there in 87, so hopefully we see you next week, see what we can do in the next gym.
Man, I got 42 hours of Daytona to do, man. I'm not going to be able to do the Cup race.
Well, in that case, we'll see you at Miami in 2 weeks' time, hopefully.
Peace.
And then third place, our ARCA champion, turned to next gen, Justin Baxter.
And Justin Baxter, man, great run from you there. Hard fought through, started 25th and finished 3rd. How's it feel?
Yeah, it feels good. I'm surprised, but I tried to manage my tires the best I could.
Yeah, definitely seemed like you were doing pretty good there, man. I got to ask you, there in the mid-race, I know strategy kind of went up and down and all around for people, so what was kind of your strategy going in and how did it have to adapt?
Yeah, kind of mid-race, it was getting chaotic with the cautions, and a couple of times I just pitted for fuel and tried to save a set of tires for the end. It worked out the best way it could. It just... right there at the end, I think I drove a little too hard and gave up some tire and kind of lost second right there.
Yeah, man, definitely hard fought there with Kyle. And I got to ask, next week is going to be Rockingham. How are you feeling coming up to the Rock? And what's your goals for next week?
My goals next week, I'm hoping for a top 10. Rockingham is one of those tracks where you're doing good in rhythm, or you can just not figure it out. It's not working for you. So hopefully next week I'm in rhythm.
Actually, Justin, I'm going to ask you, because I don't know. Do you know if we're at new or old Rockingham next week?
That I'm not sure.
That's a question we've never had to answer before, but now we have that conundrum. So well, I guess we'll find out together.
Yeah.
All right, well, solid run. Good job, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, with the new build in Rockingham being out, Brad, we actually, there's retro and there's current. So, and both of those are a different can of worms. So that'll be interesting to figure out. But, Brad, we never played the caution game. So what's your guess?
Was it 12?
I'm going to go with 10. I think that's a little high. But survey says 10. Hey, oh, I win nothing.
Hey,
except
there we go.
You know, we'll put that, maybe that'll be a little back-end tracker we'll do. But either way, good race. I know you're happy. Your new best friend you found from the leagues and that we cover, Nerney, doing a great job getting the win here at Chicago. Everybody make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll be back with more racing on Tuesday, I believe, for the... Is it Tuesday? For the ARCA series?
Oh, yeah, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday here at the same track. I think it'll be me and I don't even know who, but someone will be with me. Brad will be live on Wednesday.
C-Vue, come on now.
I don't know the schedule. I just show up and whoever's here is here. Thursday, we have the area iRacing fundraiser dirt special, so that'll be a very important event. Stay tuned for that. And then we'll be doing it all again the following week. Any final words, Brad?
What a way to kick off 2026, and we're right back in the swing of things. No off season coming up.
Absolutely. That is Corey and Brad signing out of the booth. Have a great night, and we'll catch you next time.
See you.